Shalom, one of souls were given no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the blood and supposed to great most and honors you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah. Yahweh, his real name is Yahweh, and his son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning that, and Sham meaning name. So Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. This one is inspired by a little chuckle that we had at camp. Talking about Jake loves the KFC and the bloody family buckets, but it was just joking about like how in the times to come you are genuinely gonna have a family bucket, i.e., feasting off of loved ones, quote unquote. Right, because cannibalism is coming back in a big way, okay, into this world. Right, why? Because of wickedness and because of the judgment of the Most High. Right, and this is one of the things that has happened in our history. Right, and basically the Lord is going to bring famine again. Right, but that's going to be one of the several calamities that the Most High is going to bring all at the same time. It's a lot. So this is 2 Kings 6:24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dung for 5 pieces of silver. Right, so imagine things had gotten so bad in the siege, right, that this is what people had to resort to. Right, and Esau was setting up a siege as we speak, an artificial siege, right, where basically he's buying up the farmland and he's poisoning the farmland and forcing farmers to cull their livestock and stuff like that. It's a lot, right? So this is this is what this man is getting ready to do, right? And we understand that this is all a part of his plan to bring in that NWO, that MOTB, right? So that you have to go to him to eat, right? What does the scripture say in Isaiah the 31st chapter? Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help, right? Whereas the elect can just wait and pray to the Most High. And the Most High will feed, right? We have accounts of that. That's why it says in Romans, right? Look at the generations of old, right? Oh no, that's let me get it. I'm butchering it. I always forget which order it is there. Yeah, Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Right, and the one that was quoting was in Sirach 2:10. It says, look at the generations of old and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him. Right, so back here in verse 26. Alright, 2 Kings 6:26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, out of the winepress. So look, ultimately saying, look, man, I can't help you, but the Most High ain't helping you. What the hell can I do? Right? It says, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son, right? Because, yeah, man, and you can imagine that's sheer levels of desperation, that is. Okay, yet the Most High brought Israel to that before, and guess what? He's going to do it again, all right? He's going to do it again. Right, I'm going to read 2 Ezra 6 from 26. It says, from 22, Slaki, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. So it's going to come out of nowhere, okay? Not for us. We're aware of what's happening. Right? We see Esau playing games, right? But the people in this world, guess what? They're asleep, right? But what does it say? It was Ephesians 4, right? To basically, awake out of that, because the times are evil, right? We're in an evil time, which evil means bad time. We're in a bad time. Now, we understand this through the grace of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? But the other people, they're sleepwalking, right, into anarchy. So it says, and even that's a video, right? Sleepwalking into anarchy. Right, so then suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So I don't know where these storehouses were just gonna, disappear, right? Yeah, so let me read this now. 2 Ezra 16 and 18, a few verses. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Now we know what we have to do, right? We have to believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, right? We can't seek to carnally save our lives, right, by taking the MOTB, because what does the scripture say? It says, those that seek to save their lives shall lose it. So we just have to have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And why? Because this world is desperately wicked, right? And it needs to be judged, right? And nothing humbles a man than hearing his belly. Okay. Verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Right, so the sown places, which got the storehouses full, the sown places looking sown and everything, right? Now everything's good. Oh, what do you mean there's going to be a famine? Look at all of the food in the shop, right? The harvest has been good, yada yada yada, right? These people think that they're in good case. However, what does it say? So then, even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And this is everything that is happening right now, right? Sword, famine, and confusion, right? Great confusion. I remember reading something yesterday where basically someone was like, the entirety of United Airlines fleet was down, yet that didn't even make like rolling news like that. He was saying, because he was basically saying that didn't make rolling news because everything is so damn crazy that's not even a big story anymore. And it just goes to show you this place is just, there's a great confusion, right? Lots of madness going on, and ultimately lots of prophecies, being fulfilled, right, at the moment. So many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, right? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Which, let me just grab this real quick. This is Amos 5 and 18, right? Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh's darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Right, so basically indicating a state of no escape. So that's what the Most High is about to do. He's going to create a state of no escape here in these lands. Okay. Let me carry on back in 2 Ezra's. Yeah, so that's what we're seeing here. So some may escape the famine, but guess what? They're escaping the famine just to be killed by the sword, right? And then those that escape all of that, guess what? If they're in the land of America, right, escaping all of that, if they ain't of the elect, just to be hit by the missiles, which is the great sword. Okay, it says verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So there's going to be so much damn death that it ain't like now. I mean, and you'll see it, right? If you've ever been near like an accident site, or a site where some madness has happened, right? I remember I was in a store one time, and then outside the store, someone got stabbed to death, right? And the amount of police, the amount ambulance and this and that, right, just all in the area, right, just for this one individual. In that time, there ain't gonna be none of that. In that time, it's gonna be like, look, man, he dead. Hey, jump over it. Right, but that's why one of the first jobs that the elites are going to do is to basically, bury these dead bodies, as you can read in Ezekiel the 39th chapter. Okay, so yeah, that's it, right? So this is Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right, which has been spoken of very recently, right? As pennies representing a day's wage, right? So food, like a measure of wheat, right? It is gonna be basically the same as a day's wage, right? So food is about to get extremely expensive, which in turn leads to what? Leads to famine, right? Leads to as spoken of in actually a little bit further up. No, in the 15th chapter of 2nd Ezra's, right, man having no pity on his neighbor and invading for the want of bread, and invading one another for the want of bread. So that's what you're going to be seeing, right, in these last days. When people are getting hungry, they're going to start fighting each other. Then they're going to start killing each other and eating each other. Then they're going to start killing and eating family. Okay, those that look sick, those, that look, well, he ain't going to make it anyway. Right, like I said, that's the although trying to be comical, but the realness of the title, right? A real life family bucket. People are gonna be eating family members real soon, right? And this is why, right? Sirach 40:9 points in both verses at the point, but Sirach 40:9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. Right, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Right, so this is judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right, all of these things that are to come as judgment, right, from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right, but we hope to be on the good side of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right, it's Job 5:20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Right, because actually this is a two. We can look at this in both ways. This particular scripture, we can look at it from the perspective of, this is all coming. But then when we read this, these things are created for the wicked. Now, if we be of the elect, we don't have to worry about these things. Right, that's not to say we're gonna eat all the time or whatever, or have you. Not to say that we may not end up in situations. But what does it say? But it says plain and to the point. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Now Noah, right, was and his household, right, was deemed for salvation, right? Were they destroyed by the flood, or were they saved during the flood? Right, they were saved, right? So in the same way, right, if we be of the elect, us and our household at that time, right, will be saved, right? You can read that was Acts, right? It says, believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thou and my household, shall be saved. Right now, who is in your household at that time? The Most High will decide. Okay, the Most High will decide who's in your household at that time, right? And the last one, did I finish this one? Yeah, the last one, Isaiah 65:13, it says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, right? The Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Right, so the elect of Yahweh Shem shall go and be good in that day. Right, not like, once again, not like now, right, where it's like not like these people who are gonna be through. Right, these people are going to be through, right? So all we can do is just keep on keeping on, right? Keep on, trying to be right with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? And hope that we be of the elect to be protected from these evils, right? So as always, Lord's will that was edifying. Until the next time we say Shalom.